Hello everyone. So today we are going to look on the topic Dalton Plan. So Dalton Plan is an educational concept created by Helen Parkes and it was introduced in the year 1914 in New York City. So this plan was developed at a school in Dalton at Massachusetts, the USA. So this plan is also known as a laboratory plan, and in this plan it features the freedom of movement and choice of material by the students. Next, we can look on to the characteristics of the Dalton plan. So, a set of well designed activities is distributed, so using which each student could progress in tune with his own abilities and interests. So, gradually, this curriculum transaction has become famous all over the world, enabling individualized instruction and came to be. And the main idea of this principle or the plan was to give the pupils the freedom and opportunity to develop initiative and self reliance. And the plan is mainly based on individual clearing. The main principle of this plan is freedom of work and cooperation. So next we can look how does this plan works. So it is actually a method of education where pupils work at their own pace and students are encouraged to help each other with their work. So a group interaction is made possible there and students receive individual help from the teacher when it is necessary. So they are getting in attention from the teacher whenever that is necessary, and individual one to one interaction between student and teacher is happening there, and students draw up the timetables and responsible for finishing their work. So next we can see the strategies of the Dalton plan. So the learning activities for the students are given as a monthly assignments for each subjects. So the students must complete all the so the students must complete all assignments with a given time, but they have the freedom to choose the order of the subjects and organize their schedule and adapt their own learning strategy. So all the work has to be done independently and the results is kept recorded every time. So the teachers are responsible for keeping the records properly. So these teachers will also arrange group activities, conference, and academic help if needed. And each student's progress is noted on a job card. So after finishing a month's work, the next month's assignments are given. The plan still holds a value as it meets the individual learner's needs and the interests. So, in this plan or in this concept, the classroom teaching is very much reduced, where the students work in subject rooms with the materials. And it is not a method of one subject but a way to organize school work to promote self activity. So through this we can solve problem of the different learning speeds among the students, and here the individual is being treated as a unit of instruction, and the traditional curriculum is preserved here, but the timetable is very much flexible. And here we can see the principles of the Dalton plan. First one is the principle of freedom. So students have the freedom to choose what to study at a given time. So they can move from one subject room to the another, and they are free to work in any particular subject. Next one is the principle of individual work. So the Dalton plan is based on the principles of pedagogy that each individual works at his own rate. So there should be no time restriction for doing a piece of work, so they can regulate their own speed. Next one is the principle of self effort. So here learning is expected to be most effective when it is a result of self effort and self activity. So the students are allowed to study their own. And next one is the principle of group interaction. So a constant interaction between the members of the group is made possible through the group activities and all. So children varying in age and ability to work together in the subject room is also made possible through this group interaction. So next we can say the attributes of the Dalton plan. So first one is the subject laboratories. So instead of classrooms, here we have the laboratories. So each subject is having the subject laboratories equipped with the apparatus, equipments, books, charts, maps or graphs, whatever needed is set up in the subject laboratories. And next attribute is the subject teachers or the specialized teachers. We don't have a class teacher system in the Dalton plan concept, but we have this teachers specialized in the concerned subjects. So the teachers are expected to take up the role of an advisors or the guides instead of engagement or engaging in the teaching. More than lecturing, they are allowed to give advices or the guidance for their studying. So next one is the assignments or the contracts. So uh, whatever the things or the task or the work the students have to do in the academic subject is laid into a series of tasks known as the contracts. So hence the plan is also known as a contract plan. Next one is the record. The progress of the pupils is recorded by means of graphs and diagrams. So there are mainly three records. Two of them are recorded, the records are maintained by the pupil itself, and the third one is kept by the teacher. Next one is the conferences. So teachers may arrange conferences to discuss some common difficulties or to introduce something new to them. So these are the attributes of the Dalton plan. Next we can say the role of a teacher in the Dalton plan. So the teacher has a role to keep the atmosphere of studying in the each subject room, and teacher is allowed to keep the subject library or the equipments up to date and in the proper order, and teachers are allowed to keep the records of the progress made by the pupil in different classes, and teacher should give information with regard to the use of relevant equipments and materials and all those apparatus. So these are the role of a teacher in the Dalton plan. Next we can see the advantages of the Dalton plan. So in this the teaching is individualized, and here the continuity of the work is also assured, and self effort brings confidence in the pupils as all the works are being done by them itself, and it develops an initiative and resourcefulness in the pupils, and the problem of indiscipline is also solved here as the students are uh, meant to do all their works thereon. So next here we can see the disadvantages of the Dalton plan. So this may result in the damages of apparatus as students are doing their works thereon, and they are getting only advice from the teachers. So, and it also limits the opportunities of group work, though they are allowed to interact in the groups, but it limits the opportunities of getting a group work since they are doing their own work, and it is impracticable in ordinary schools, and it is also difficult to prepare assignments sometimes for the students and all. So these are the advantages of the Dalton plan. So these are the things all about the Dalton plan. So thank you.